money, especially because my last job didn't pay me my last check. I don't even know how to go about that. Like, what legal services do I do? Do you think, is there any resources you can give me to help me with that?
So what I would suggest is if you go to the michiganlegalhelp.org website, there are resources
What is
there.
it called?
Michigan Legal Help.
Michigan Legal Help. Okay.
Okay.
.com?
So .org.
.org. Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is this. I'm setting you for September 2nd. All right.
Okay. Thank
If you're
you.
able to pay the whole thing off by September 2nd, that hearing date will be canceled. You won't have to come. I at least want to see a balance that is less than what it is right now, September 2nd. If your balance
Okay.
is still $160, I will be setting a date for you in front of the judge.
Okay, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, and good luck. It sounds like things are starting to trend upwards, so I hope you'll
Yes,
be able to
they are,
do so.
which is why I'm going to get this out the way, because I don't want nothing to happen to my license. I haven't even been driving. So thank you.
You are welcome, and you are free to sign out. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Okay. Now calling case number 23T00187. This is Ypsilanti Township versus Jamar Anthony Peak. Can you please unmute and state your name for the record?
Jamar Peak.
Okay, thank you very much. Today is the date and time set for an arraignment in this matter. What I am seeing, it looks like a bench warrant issued for your arrest back on February 16th of 2023. I'm showing it as canceled as of June 26th. I don't have an indication as to why it was canceled. But I will note this was a misdemeanor complaint from November 11th, 2022 that charges that on or about that date, you made an assault or an assault and battery upon Cherie Williams, a person with whom you reside or formerly resided, a person with whom you have or had a dating relationship, and that occurred at 3375 East Michigan Avenue, number 233. That's otherwise known as domestic assault and battery.
Yes, I had the original, like, that nothing happened. She had called and
Mr. P, excuse me, I would advise for you to not make any statements. It is being recorded. Anything you say can be used against you. Just let her read the charges for now.
So what I was going to ask was, do you understand what you are being charged with?
No, ma'am, I don't, because the charge.
Okay. Let me rephrase this, because I'm not asking you if you agree with the charge, and I'm not asking you if you even necessarily understand why you are being charged with this. What I want to know is, do you understand what the charge means?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So this is a misdemeanor. It has a maximum potential penalty of up to 93 days in jail, a $500 fine plus court costs, or both. Do you understand that potential penalty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So you do have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say out loud or in writing can be used against you in court. You have the right to be presumed innocent beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a trial by judge or by jury. You have the right to be represented by an attorney during all stages of these court proceedings, that is before, during, and after trial. You are not required to disclose citizenship status to the court, but you do have the right to consult with an attorney to see if this case would have any effect on your citizenship status. If that last part doesn't apply to you, don't worry about it. Do you have any questions about your rights?
No.
Okay, thank you. So, Attorney Moten, do you want to address the plea and the bond?
Yes, Mr. Pete will stand mute to the charges and request a not guilty plea be entered and a personal bond ordered.
Okay, thank you.
Understanding it. I'm not understanding it. But I mean, you got to call. No, you
Okay.
got to call the prosecutor.
Well, here, just keep in mind that you are, again, on the record and on YouTube. So
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. So I am making a couple of assumptions here. One of them being, do you currently reside with Ms. Williams?
Yes, ma'am. Have been since that time.
Okay. And is that at that address that was listed in the complaint?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay. So, at this time, the court is going to set a pretrial conference date that will be July 21st, 2025. That will be at 9 in the morning over Zoom in front of Judge Washington.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
court, thank you. The court is going to set bond with the following conditions. You are not to use or possess alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs. You are not to purchase or possess any firearms, ammunition, or other dangerous weapons. Given the age of this matter, as I stated, the incident apparently occurred back in 2022, and the fact that I am not seeing any other sort of assaultive history in your background, okay, I am going to do something somewhat unusual for the type of charge that this is. I am going to allow consensual contact, and I am going to allow you to remain at that address.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. I am going to say that there is to be no sort of assaultive, threatening, harassing, terrorizing, molesting, or stalking behaviors toward Cherie Williams or anyone else. There is to be no criminal activity of any kind whatsoever, and you are to appear for any and all dates set for you by the court, the next one in this matter, as I stated, being July 21st.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will note that as the person with bond conditions being placed on you, if anything even starts to happen while you are there, it is your responsibility to remove yourself from that situation.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
It is not her responsibility to remove herself. It's yours to remove yourself. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these conditions will be entered into the Law Enforcement Information Network. They will be readily accessible to any police officers that you may come into contact with. And if they have probable cause to believe that you have violated one of these conditions, then they can arrest you on the spot, and you'll be held for a bond violation hearing in front of a judge who may revoke your bond and set a new, more restrictive one.
Yes, ma'am.
So, any questions about anything I just said?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the court is going to set a $10,000 personal recognizance bond. You're not required to post anything. Basically, you are promising to appear for your next court date and to abide by all of the bond conditions. If you fail to appear or violate any bond conditions, then a bench warrant could issue for your arrest. Your bond could be revoked entirely, but it will be at a minimum $10,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So obviously, this is a surprising and upsetting situation. It seems that you have been cohabiting fine since 2022, just based on appearances at the moment. All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
So just go through the process, talk to the public defender's office. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Attorney Moten, did you want to add anything?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Then, Mr. Pete, if you don't have any questions about anything I just said, then you are free to hang up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
He has one of the individuals in custody needs a Swahili interpreter, so it's taken a while. I know usually we do the in custody after, so I'm sorry I didn't tell her that to start at 7:30.
that's fine. It just means that Ms. Whitaker is going to be waiting a little while. So.
Yes, they're doing an interpreter.
All right, let's talk about that. The hearing for Yamar Anthony Pete, presided over by Magistrate Hillary Braley, was one of those rare instances where a serious charge met a measured and pragmatic response without losing sight of the underlying concern. Mr. Pete appeared for arraignment on a long misdemeanor complaint that had been issued all the way back in 2022. The charge, a domestic-related incident involving Cherie Williams, someone he currently lives with, that already puts this case into the unusual category, because by the time we got to the arraignment, they'd apparently been peacefully cohabitating for quite some time. From the jump, Pete seemed a bit confused, understandably so. He was polite, soft-spoken, and even when reminded that the hearing was on YouTube and being recorded, he respectfully tried to explain that nothing happened. Fortunately, his public defender, Ashley Moten, stepped in to keep things on track and requested a not guilty plea along with a personal bond. Magistrate Braley, true to her calm and structured style, navigated the whole thing with a cool head. She explained the charge, clarified the rights, and carefully assessed the context. What stood out was how she deviated from the usual script for a domestic charge. Given the age of the case, the lack of new incidents, and the peaceful living arrangement between Pete and Ms. Williams, she did something you don't often see. She allowed consensual contact, and even permitted him to remain at the same address. That's a big move, and one that reflects trust, not just in the facts, but in the defendant's responsibility. Of course, she made it crystal clear that if anything even starts to happen, it's on Mr. Pete to remove himself from the situation. Not her, him, period. She emphasized that in no uncertain terms, likely knowing full well that gray areas can quickly turn into courtroom headaches. The overall tone of the hearing was calm, if slightly tense at moments due to the nature of the charge, but there was no grandstanding, no outbursts, just a quiet man trying to make sense of something that had come back to the surface after nearly 3 years. Magistrate Braley issued a $10,000 personal recognizance bond, no money up front, just a promise to follow the rules and show up. And in this case, that might be the smartest way forward. It buys time, it respects due process, and it keeps the door open for a fair evaluation of what actually happened, if anything, back in 22. So, while this wasn't the kind of hearing that sparks viral outrage or dramatic headlines, it was a solid example of thoughtful court procedure at work. A judge weighing the facts, a public defender doing their job, and a defendant navigating a confusing situation with a mix of humility and quiet composure. If you found this hearing insightful, consider subscribing, hitting the bell, and letting me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every one.